Hello and welcome to News Tonight on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Let's get you the top stories of the day. Centre signs landmark pact to resolve 50-year-old Bodo problem. Agreement involves all factions of the banned National Democratic Front of Bodoland and Assam government. Home Minister Amit Shah says it will not only ensure a golden future for Assam, but also safeguard Bodo culture by fulfilling their political and economic needs. No scope for external interference in India's internal affairs, asserts the Vice President. Addressing a book release function, Venkaiah Naidu says India capable of resolving its issues and also addressing people's concerns on its own. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad calls Shaheen Bagh protests an attempt to suppress voice of a peaceful majority on Citizenship Amendment Act, accuses opposition of providing platform to people who want to fragment India, questions silence on the objectionable video of JNU student Sharjeel Imam. Ahead of the budget session of Parliament, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu convenes an all-party meeting on 31st January. The central government also calls an all-party meet on the 30th of January, focus to be on the smooth conduct of the session. And campaigning continues for the Delhi Assembly elections. Home Minister Amit Shah addresses public meetings, accuses Aam Aadmi Party of going back on its election promises. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal leads a roadshow for his party candidates. Our top story, in a move aimed at bringing peace in the northeast region, the government on Monday signed the historic Bodo Peace Pact with representatives of Bodo organizations. The agreement was signed by Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal and top leaders of the National Democratic Front of Bodoland, the All Bodo Students Union and the United Bodo People's Organization, in the presence of Home Minister Amit Shah. The Home Minister described the agreement as historic, saying it will bring a permanent solution to the decades-old problems faced by the Bodo people.
ये एग्रीमेंट असम और बोडो क्षेत्र के सुनहरे भविष्य का दस्तावेज है, क्योंकि सन 1972 से आपसू द्वारा एक पृथक बोडो राज्य की मांग उठाई गई। शुरुआत में ये आंदोलन लोकतांत्रिक तरीके से चला। 87 से 1987 से ये आंदोलन हिंसक बना और सभी तरीके से ये पूरे क्षेत्र को अशांति से ग्रस्त कर ये आंदोलन रहा। बहुत सारे युवाओं को पढ़ाई लिखाई के लिए अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूशंस खड़े हुए इस प्रकार के काम, और बहुत सारे नॉर्थ ईस्ट के समग्र क्षेत्र की आरोग्य की सुविधाओं के काम करें। तो जो नारा दिया था प्रधानमंत्री जी ने, सबका साथ सबका विकास, और अब इसके साथ सबका विश्वास जोड़कर ये पूरे नॉर्थ ईस्ट क्षेत्र को एक अशांति से बाहर लाने का, अस्थिरता से बाहर लाने का एक प्रयास हुआ है।
असम में शांति व्यवस्था हमेशा के लिए बरकरार रहेगा, और शांति जहां होंगे विकास भी वहां जोर से होने लगता है, ये सबको मालूम है। तो इसलिए आज जो एग्रीमेंट बोडो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से हुआ है, मैं खास करके इस विषय पर बोडो लीडर्स को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि उन लोगों ने बहुत इस विषय पर सहयोग किया।
As per the agreement, 1,550 militants belonging to the NDFP will lay down their arms on the 30th of January. An economic program of 1,500 crore rupees will be implemented in the next 3 years with equal contribution of 750 crore rupees each from the central and state governments. The existing structure of the Bodoland Territorial Council will be strengthened with its seats to be expanded from 40 to 60. Besides, a commission will also be set up for inclusion of Bodo-dominated villages in the BTC. Soon after the agreement was signed, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a series of Twitter messages, said that the agreement would usher in a new dawn of peace, harmony and togetherness. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu asserted on Monday that there is no scope for outside interference in India's internal matters. Expressing concern over the trend of foreign bodies interfering in matters that are completely within the purview of the Indian Parliament and also the Indian government, he said such efforts are totally uncalled for and also unwarranted. He expressed hope that they would refrain from making such statements in future.
Recently, some efforts are being made outside India to comment on some laws made by Parliament and to raise some issues based on inadequate knowledge and insufficient understanding of the issues sought to be addressed by our lawmakers. Such efforts are totally uncalled for, unwarranted. Let me make it very clear. As the Vice President and also Chairman of the Upper House of India, Parliament, these comments are totally uncalled for and unwarranted. As a mature republic and democratic polity, we are capable of addressing the concerns if any of our citizens, and we need no advice or guidance in such matters from others. As a republic of 70 years of experience, we have withstood so many challenges and overcame several challenges. We are now more united than ever before, and no one should have any concern in this regard. As a nation, we are committed to the cardinal principles of ensuring justice, liberty, and equality for all of our citizens. This is a great country, even of partition on the basis of religion. We follow Sarva Dharma Samabhavana, appeasement of none and justice for all. Minorities could become president 3 times. There is an unfortunate trend of foreign bodies to interfere in the matters that are completely within the purview of India, Parliament and the Indian government. I hope they will recognize that this is unwarranted and unwelcome. I hope that they will refrain from making such statements.
Union Minister and BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad has said that Delhi's Shaheen Bagh protest is emerging as a textbook case of a few hundred people trying to suppress the silent majority. Addressing a press conference on Monday, the minister said that those trying to fragment India are getting cover in the Shaheen Bagh protest, where the tricolours are being waved. He said the protest is not just against the Citizenship Amendment Act, but also against Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He further said that due to these protests, where the protesters have blocked roads, lakhs of people are distressed as they face difficulties in going about their daily lives.
Shaheen Bagh is emerging as a textbook case of few hundred people seeking to suppress the peaceful majority. ये है शाहीन बाग का सही चेहरा और देश के सामने आना बहुत जरूरी है. राहुल गांधी खामोश हैं, केजरीवाल भी खामोश हैं. उनके लोग खूब बोल रहे हैं.
And Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that no power can now stop Kashmiri pundits from going back to Kashmir. He said Pakistan cannot dare to raise Kashmir on international forums now after Article 370's nullification, and asserted that if talks happen with Pakistan, it will only be on POK. Addressing a rally in Mangalore in support of the Citizenship Amendment Act, the Defence Minister said the law is not meant to hurt the sentiments of any religion, but to give relief to victims of religious persecution in countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan.
लेकिन अब हमें कोई रोक नहीं सकता, क्योंकि अब धारा 370 के तहत वहां स्पेशल स्टेटस नहीं है। जो हमारे कश्मीरी पंडित अब कश्मीर जाना चाहेंगे, अब उनको कश्मीर की धरती पर जाने से और वहां रहने से दुनिया की कोई ताकत रोक नहीं सकती है। यह मार्ग हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी के नेतृत्व में हमारी सरकार ने प्रशस्त कर दिया।
And Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said that the government is aiming for 100% electrification of Indian railways by 2024. Speaking at the India-Brazil Business Forum in Delhi, the minister said that India will be the first railway network in the world to be run on 100% electricity. He also said that there is a plan to make Indian railways net zero carbon emitter by the year 2030. Addressing the business leaders of both countries, he said that businesses of both sides can look at potential in areas like railways, infrastructure, tourism, agriculture, clean energy and startups. He also welcomed the announcement made during the visit of President of Brazil to India for visa-free travel between both countries. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro said there is huge potential for Indian businesses in Brazil.
By 2024, we expect the entire Indian Railway, which is about 125,000 kilometers of track length and nearly 68,000 kilometers of route length, to be 100% run on electricity. First railway in the entire world of this size and scale, which will run 100% on electricity, and by 2030, we plan to make the entire Indian railway network a net zero emission network.
Here with their whole business delegations to look at opportunities in India. And they have certain things which they have achieved in terms of disinvestment of the government sector, things which they have done in terms of ease of doing business, being able to give business people confidence to invest into Brazil. All are similar to what Prime Minister Modi is trying to do in India. So there is a big learning curve between the two countries.
Minister of State for Finance Anurag Singh Thakur addressed the Central Board of Indirect Taxes officers on the International Customs Day today. He said that India's ease of doing business rankings have been improving in the dynamic global situation. He added that evolution and adoption are the key components for furthering economic growth. He also said that a number of steps are being undertaken by the government to strengthen the economy that includes merger of banks and tax concessions to industries. The minister also congratulated the taxmen for a great degree of intelligence while adopting a customer-friendly approach. He also said that sharing information and usage of non-intrusive technologies should be harnessed by the taxmen.
We have witnessed a constant rise in India's standing in the ease of doing business rankings. A critical component of these ranking is trading across borders, where the recent growth has been remarkable. A change has been ushered in the country evident not only in our improved international rankings, but also in the perception of those who are immediately affected.
In a revised push to sell the national carrier, the government on Monday announced plans to sell its entire stake in Air India. As per the bid document issued, the government said it would sell 100% stake in the national carrier, which operates both domestic and international routes. March 17th has been set as a deadline for potential buyers to submit their initial expressions of interest. The bid document showed while several of Air India's subsidiaries will be excluded from the sale, the buyer will get 100% of low-cost arm Air India Express and 50% of ISATS. ISATS is a joint venture partnership between Air India and Singapore Airport Terminal Services Limited, which provides ground and cargo handling services.
We, all of us, CMD Air India and all the employees, Ministry of Civil Aviation, want Air India as a brand, Air India as a commercial operation to continue to fly. That is the first requirement. The employees are on it, we are also in it. The government does not have the resources, or rather the government has resources which are scarce and which the government would like to use on other more productive means of providing welfare, goods and services to our citizens. Therefore, privatization is a requirement, but we would like to see it done in a manner where the employees' interests are also looked after.
And time for a short break here. More news and updates will continue on the other side. Do stay with us.
Watch The Big Picture with me, Vishal Dahiya, at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha TV.
बजट से यही है कि जो डायरेक्ट टैक्सेस में जो हमारे यहाँ रिफॉर्म्स की बात चल रही है, उस पर हम यही चाहते हैं कि सरकार उसमें काफ़ी अच्छे से रिफॉर्म्स एक बार कर दे, ताकि आने वाले बहुत सालों तक सब ठीक हो जाए, जो इतने सालों से नहीं हो पाया था।
जो मिडिल क्लास ट्रेडर्स है उनके लिए लोन बैंक जो है कम से कम रेट पे दे, ये हम बहुत ध्यान लगाए बैठे इस बात।
हम चाहते हैं कि बजट में व्यापारियों को प्राथमिकता दी जाए। व्यापारियों के जो विषय हैं, टैक्सेशन से संबंधित विषय हैं, व्यापारियों को फाइनेंस नहीं मिलता उसके संबंध में विषय है, या और जैसे विषय हैं, उस विषय पर सरकार पॉलिसी अच्छी बना के लाए व्यापारियों के लिए। बजट में इतना ही चाहते हैं।
Welcome back. You're watching News Tonight. Ahead of the budget session of Parliament, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu has called all the floor leaders of Rajya Sabha for a meeting on 31st January. An all-party meeting has also been convened by Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi on the 30th of January. BJP Parliamentary Executive and National Democratic Alliance meeting will be held inside Parliament on 31st of January. Parliamentary Affairs Minister held a meeting of secretaries of various ministries and departments on Monday regarding the preparation of legislative business during the budget session of Parliament. And news now regarding the upcoming elections in Delhi. Home Minister Amit Shah has stepped up attack on Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Addressing an election rally in Rithala in Delhi on Monday, Amit Shah said that Kejriwal did not fulfill any of his promises made ahead of the last Delhi Assembly polls in 2015. He accused him of once again making false promises to the people of Delhi. He said that the BJP has given ownership rights to the residents of unauthorized colonies in the national capital, and he also promised all slum dwellers pakka houses.
झूठ बोलने की स्पर्धा कोई चला दी जाए तो केजरीवाल को भारत में नंबर 1 मिल जाए, नंबर 1 मिल जाए। 5 साल तक ये केजरीवाल सरकार ने झूठ के अलावे कुछ नहीं किया। मित्रों, आज वो फिर से जनादेश लेने निकले हैं और जब ये लोगों के सामने जाते हैं तो एक भी पुराना वादा याद नहीं करते। उन्होंने कहा था 50 कॉलेज नए बनाएंगे, रिठाला में एक भी बनाए क्या? 15 लाख सीसीटीवी कैमरा लगाने वाले थे। इक्का दुक्का आपको दिखाने के लिए लगा दिया, मगर सीसीटीवी कैमरा दिल्ली की जनता ढूंढती रह गई है। मित्रों, 5000 डीटीसी की बसें लगाने वाले थे, नहीं तो छोड़ दो, जो थी उसमें 1100 बसें कम करने का काम ये केजरीवाल सरकार ने किया। हमने कहा था ये झुग्गियां हमें दे दो, हम इसको जहां झुग्गी वहां मकान, एक योजना के तहत हर एक को 2 कमरे का मकान देंगे। केजरीवाल जी ने नहीं कहा। मित्रों, 8 तारीख को ये सरकार बदल दो। मैं आपके सामने कहकर जाता हूं कि 8 तारीख को भाजपा सरकार बनने के बाद दिल्ली की सारी झुग्गी झोंपड़ी को जहां झुग्गी है वहीं मकान देने का काम नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार करने वाली है।
Meanwhile, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also campaigned for his party candidates. He held road shows in Narela, Bhavana and Gandhinagar areas, appealing to people to vote for his party for a second term. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu on Monday stressed on the need for global cooperation for early detection of new viruses and to contain any serious fallout from outbreak of epidemics. Addressing the scientists and researchers of the Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology in Hyderabad, he raised concern on the spread of coronavirus across nations. He said that period outbreak of epidemic and new viruses highlighted our vulnerability to such diseases. He also appealed to the private sector to create a separate fund for financing innovative scientific projects that will address societal concerns. The Vice President also called upon scientists to find answers to challenges like poverty, effects of climate change, pollution, lack of clean drinking water, sanitation, increasing urbanization, and growing drug resistance.
Periodic outbreak of epidemics and new viruses not only highlight our vulnerability to disease, but also underscore the need for early detection and cooperation on a global scale to contain any serious harm. As you all aware, the newly discovered strain of coronavirus is spreading across nations and causing a major concern to health authorities across the globe. Please remember that the real wealth of a nation is determined by the health of its population. Scientists like you must find answers to many challenges the world is facing today, like poverty, effects of climate change, pollution, lack of clean drinking water, sanitation, increasing urbanization, and growing drug resistance, among others. These are some of the challenges I have mentioned. Issues like growing antimicrobial resistance need concerted efforts at the global level.
The government has decided to prepare for possible evacuation of Indian nationals from Wuhan city in coronavirus-hit Chinese province of Hubei. The decision was taken at a high-level meeting chaired by the Cabinet Secretary, which carried out a detailed review of the situation arising out of the outbreak of coronavirus in China. In India, 4 people in Maharashtra and 1 in Rajasthan have been isolated on the suspicion of possible exposure to coronavirus. Another case in Bengaluru tested negative. China is reeling under the coronavirus epidemic, which has claimed 81 lives so far. The overall number of confirmed cases in China is 2,744, out of which more than 300 are reported to be critically ill. Wuhan, the source of the outbreak, is in lockdown and several cities have imposed travel bans. More than 500,000 medical staff have joined prevention, control and treatment operations in the Hubei province. And let's now get you some news about environment and climate change. Due to climate change, heat and humidity is likely to increase remarkably in all tropical countries, including in India, in the next decade. This will reduce the efficiency of the people with serious economic effects. According to a report by McKinsey Global Institute, the impact of climate change on the GDP of various countries will be clearly visible by the year 2030. Labor productivity is also likely to decline by 15%, directly impacting the GDP. And in some unfortunate news, US basketball legend Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna are among 9 people killed in a helicopter crash in a city in California. Bryant was traveling in a private helicopter when it came down and burst into flames. There were no survivors. A 5-time NBA champion, Bryant was widely considered one of the greatest players in the game's history. He played his entire 20-year career with the Los Angeles Lakers. He retired in April 2016. His achievements include being the 2008 NBA Most Valuable Player and 2-time NBA Finals MVP. He was also NBA scoring champion twice and a 2-time Olympic champion as well. Tributes from celebrities and fellow sports stars have been pouring in, several of them expressing shock at his untimely death. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thank you for your time.